Great. So let's also look at the addition and the subtraction of number base. We are already done with changing from base 10 to other numerals and changing from other numerals in other base to base 10. So we are going to deal with addition, how we can add and subtract given numerals in given base. Okay. Now in this case, the addition and the subtraction, how it is done, uh, it is not like the normal addition that we do, even though we will apply the same concept here, the normal addition and subtraction, but in the case of number bases, it's a little bit tricky. So let's go through how it is. So let's look at the addition part. Okay. So we are looking at the addition part. Good. So in this concept for the addition, what we are going to um, do is here we are going to use what we call the remainder principle. So we are going to use the remainder principle. Yes, that is the method we are going to use. There are other methods that we can think of, but in this video or in this lesson, we are going to um, use remainder principle to do the addition, both addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, so the remainder principle, the same thing we did when we were converting from other we were converting from number base 10 to other bases. So how we did it, you remember in our previous lesson we drew a table, then we find the remainder. Yes, we are going to apply the same process here. Okay, so for instance, for addition, let's say you have the following numbers. Let's say you have 3 plus 4 plus 5, and you are to add this in base 5. Let's say you are to add this in base 5. Now we know that if you add this, you are going to get what? So this gives me what? 12. Now this 12, if the answer you have gotten, if we say it is in base 5, you see, if it were to be the normal addition, after adding, we will leave our answer like this. But in the case of number bases, if you are to add in a given base, let's say this one you are add in base 5, okay, in base 5. Once you have this in base 5, the answer you have gotten, then you need to use the remainder theorem. That is, you need to what? Divide whatever answer you have gotten here. So in this case, 12, you divide 12 by what? By 5. So 12 divided by 5, how many times? So you realize that you are going to get 2 remainder what? Remainder 2. Okay, when you divide 12 by 5, you are going to get 2. That is, you get 10. 10 divided by 5 is 2. The remainder 2. So the remainder, whenever you add, you write the remainder as your answer. And if you have other numbers to add again, then you add these two to the other number before you divide. But if you don't have any number to write again, then you write everything. So in this case, our answer in base 5 is going to be what? 2, 2. Have you gotten that? So you see that in the normal addition, when you add, you get what? 12. But in base 5, you are getting what? 2, 2, which is 22. That is why I said in the number base, the addition and the subtraction and multiplication is a bit what? Different from the normal way we do what? Addition. Okay. Yes. So the same way, if I give you, let's say you have 13 plus 7, and you are to add, you are going to get 20. Let's say you are to add this in base what? 8. Let's say in base 8. So it means that you are going to divide this. or let me say in base what, 7. Yes, in base 7. You are going to divide the answer by 7. And what will you get? If you divide this by 7, I think you are going to get what? 2 remainder what? 6. Have you gotten that? Because 2 times 7 gives me what? 14. If you subtract 14, it's going to be left with 6. So the answer you get, it means that our answer is going to be 2, 6 in base what? 7. Have you gotten that? So that is the how we do the addition. So we will not waste time. Let's take a few examples and see how we can use the remainder principle to add numbers in given what basis. Okay, so we are to add 3, 4, 4, and 2, 4 in base 5. Okay, so this one we are going to do it in this way using the remainder principle. So I know that in primary, when you are asked to add, we do it like this, and then we have 2, 4. So it is in base what? 5. We are adding in base 5. So remember what we did when we were in primary school. Yes, we are using that approach. Okay, good. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to add them one after the other and apply the remainder principle. So 4 plus 4 gives me what? 8. Now you see that you have 8. Don't just write the 8 here. The 8 you have, you divide it by the base given. Okay, so if you are dividing it by the base given, then 8 divided by 5, how many times? You realize that is 1, remainder what? 3. So the remainder is what you write here. Then you keep this 1. Okay, you write the remainder here. Then you keep what? This 1. Okay, keep it. Then you add the next one. After adding, then you add what you kept. So 4 to 2 gives me what? 6. 6 plus 1 gives me 7. Now once I have 7, then I'm going to divide again by the base, which is 5. And 5 divides 7. When you divide 7 by 5, you are going to get what? 1 remainder 2. So always we write the 2 and keep this. Okay, then here we can add. You see that we don't have any number to add again, so whatever we kept here, then we add it to 3, and it is going to be what? 4. So once you realize that after adding, the answer you get is less than the base, then you write that answer. So this becomes what? Your answer. Okay, this becomes your answer. It means that 3, 4 for base 5 plus 2 for base 5 is equal to this 4 to 3 base 5. Okay, so you see that this is the remainder principle. It's very simple, it's not difficult, so you need to follow this principle and you get your answer right. Now let's take another example and look at how it also works. Okay, so for the second example, we apply the same here. So I write my 4103 base 6. Then we have 2422 base 6, and then my addition sign. Good. So we are going to add this in base 6. Okay, so let's move on. 3 plus 2 gives me what? 5. So you realize that 5 is less than 6, so you can write the 5. Now 0 plus 2 is 2. It's also less than the base, so we write the 2. 1 plus 4 is 5. It's also less than the base, so I write my 5. Then 4 plus 2. So you realize that 4 plus 2 is 6, which is the same as 6. The 6, 4 plus 2 is 6, and we can divide it by the given base, which is 6. So it means that when you divide 6 by 6, you are going to get what? 1. Remainder what? There will be no remainder, so remainder 0. Okay, so the remainder you get, you write the remainder here. As I said, always we write the remainder as our answer and keep what you got. Okay, so I'll keep 1 and see if I still have another number to add. If there is no number, then that 1 I kept, I add it like this. So you realize that when you divide 6 by 6, you are going to get 1 0. Okay, yes, so that gives the answer. It's very basic, very very easy. So when you have examples in this, for you don't need to waste much time. Okay, and that gives you what? Your answer. Now let's take another example. Let's take another. Good. So for example 3, we have 7 4. Remember in our previous lesson I said that the moment you see T stand for what? 10, and E stand for what? 11. So it means that you are going to add all this. So I'll write my 7 4 T base 12, and then I have my T E T again base 12. Yes, so whatever you see here, if you see E, you treat it as 11, and if you see this, you treat it as what? 10. So it means that here it is what? 11 plus 10. So what is 11 plus 10? And that is going to be what? 21. So 21, then you divide it by the base, which is 12. Okay, so 21 divided by 12, how many times? Now I know you are going to get 1 remainder what? 9. Have you gotten that? Because if you divide 21 by 12, you know that you are going to get 1 remainder what? 9. So the remainder, that is what we write. So I write my 9 and keep the 1. Okay, I will keep the 1. Now here again, 10 plus 11 gives me what? 21, plus the 1 I kept, which will be what? 22. Okay, so you divide it by the base again. So 22 divided by 12, how many times? 1, remainder what? 0. Okay, because no, 2 rather, because yes, when you divide 22 by 12, are you sure? It's rather 1. Yes, it is rather 1, remainder 10, not 0. Yes, so sorry for the mistake. Okay, all right, so it means that if you should divide 22 by 12, you are going to get 1 remainder 10. Okay, so the remainder you get, that is what you write. And remember, I said that when you get 10 or 11, you know what to write. You use the letter which is T to represent what? 10. So I write my T here, which means it is 10. Then I will keep this 1. Okay, now 4 plus 10, T here is 10. 4 plus 10 is what? 14, plus my 1 here, which is what? 15. So it means 15 divided by 12, which will give me 1 remainder what? 3. Remainder 3. So I'll write my 3 here and keep what? This 1. Now I have 7 here. I don't have anything to add, so I will just add my 1, which is 8, and 8 is less than 12. So I'll write my 8, and this becomes my answer. So it means it will be 8 3 10 9. Have you gotten that? So that is about number basis. Okay, in addition, good. So we end here for the addition. You can also solve more examples on the addition, so that we can also look at at the subtraction part in our next video. So in our next video, we are going to look at how we can subtract numerals in a given base. Okay, so let's meet again in our next video. See you. Bye bye.